This is the Private Nonprofit Equitable Services LEA Random Validation Training for November 2020. The random validation for 2020 through 2021 will only request documentation for selected equitable services requirements. However, a district must ensure it has documentation on file for all private nonprofit equitable services requirements. This webinar will provide information on the indicator that will be validated for this year. The ESA Section 1117B1 shares consultation requirements for districts providing Title I Part A private nonprofit equitable services to eligible private school students. LEAs must provide timely and meaningful consultation with private school officials prior to, during, and after equitable services has occurred. The consultation meetings must discuss how equitable services could best meet the needs of eligible private school students. Some of the topics which must be addressed during consultation meetings are special education services, instructional services, how student academic progress will be evaluated, and other services which could be available such as counseling, mentoring, one-on-one tutoring, technology use, and purchases for equitable services. Those are just a few of the requirements during your timely and meaningful consultation with appropriate private school officials. The ESA Section 1117B5 provides requirements for LEA private nonprofit written affirmations for districts providing Title I Part A private nonprofit equitable services to eligible private school students. The written affirmation must provide an option for private nonprofit school officials to indicate if they believe timely and meaningful consultation occurred or not. There is a checkbox for this option on the ESA PNP affirmation, which must be completed prior to submission. The ESA Section 8501A3 shares which stakeholders should be involved as the LEA designs their ESA consolidated application and plan activities for the year. The consultation meetings must include teachers, principals, and other school leaders, professionals, support personnel, charter school leaders where applicable, parents, community partners, and others with expertise in programs designed to meet the intent and purposes of Title VIII equitable services. Again, LEAs must provide timely and meaningful consultation with those private school officials prior to, during, and after equitable services for all of the programs in which they participate under ESA Section 8501. LEAs who have eligible private nonprofit students and staff participating in Title VIII equitable services programs under ESA Section 8501 must submit a written affirmation of consultation form for each participating private school. The submission of affirmations are due annually in September to TEA through the TEAL ESA report system. If a PNP is not participating in any equitable services under this section, the LEA should keep documentation on file and not submit the affirmation of consultation to TEA. Since the due date for ESA PNP affirmation of consultation forms was in September, there is no need to submit the same forms again through the random validation process. TEA staff will retrieve the LEA's affirmation of consultation forms, which were already submitted in September of 2020. However, the LEA should submit acceptable documentation which provides evidence that timely and meaningful consultation with participating PNP school officials occurred. Acceptable evidence would include dated meeting agendas, meeting notes, emails, and or other documentation to support Indicator 1.1. LEA should submit sample requested documentation for each title program in which a private nonprofit school is participating. Again, the LEA does not need to submit all documentation to show that the PNP was provided timely and meaningful consultation, but just a sample of that documentation. Given the increased use of virtual meeting environments during the 2019-2020 and 2020 through 2021 school years, participant rosters that include the meeting title, meeting date, and stakeholder names and roles would be acceptable substitutes for the more traditional sign-in sheets. This eliminates the need of a participant signature. So if an LEA conducted consultation meetings with private nonprofit schools through Zoom or other virtual platforms, it may submit electronic documentation of PNP school officials who attended. If you have questions concerning the PNP Equitable Services random validation, email TEA at pnpombudsman@tea.texas.gov. Thank you.